The zebra midge is probably one of the most maligned fly patterns in all of anglerdom. Savvy Western old-timers use them to great success in all of the tailwaters they like to frequent. But for the rest of us, we'll tie them on once every outing, we won't meet any success, and then we'll forget they ever exist and start slapping streamers or whatever else we want to fish that day. Well, the key with any midge hatch, and the key with this fly pattern, is understanding what phase of the hatch those midges are in and adapting your approach. So let's dive in. We'll start with our thread, building up a small head behind the bead and establishing the length of the body. Catching your wire, wrapping it over once and once back up. This is a small hook, but going as deep into the bend as you can is going to improve the look of the fly in some important ways. Next, wind the wire up and close, but not touching spirals, with the distance between your wraps increasing as you work toward the head. Catch in the wire and helicopter the excess. 2 4-turn whip finishes, and you're done. This version is the most basic larva imitation, and it's the form that's going to be kicked up from sandy, silty bottoms and turbulence, and is the most likely to be omnipresent in plunge pools and the heads of lesser pools. For the second variation, we'll tie up more of a shallow water pattern without the bead, but with more of a thorax. Start with your thread, building evenly down the hook into the bend. Again, as deep into the bend as you can go is going to improve the illusion of the larva wriggling as your hook twists and turns in the current, which in turn is going to improve the flash and the contrast. Capturing the wire as before, securing it once down and once back. Wrap your wire up just parallel with the hook point. We're going to end here in order to create some more thorax. Secure the wire with a few turns over and behind, then helicopter it free and wrap over the loose ends. Here's where some artistic license sets in. Build up as much thread as you feel necessary, creating a slight pill shape, which is going to be thicker in the middle. Then 2 3-turn whip finishes gets you home. This version is going to be best for shallower and slower water, where maybe you don't need to get down and where you see fish rising in pools to pick off the small insects that are swirling. Make sure you loose line it for visual bites or tight line swing it. If you indicator fish this pattern, your reaction time is probably going to be too slow for a proper hook set, given how much this will be winding and trailing behind. For the third variation, we're going to tie an emerging midge with an opening wing case and a trailing shuck. Start with your thread, but stop after securing it. Then grab a pinky length of your poly yarn and secure that, wrapping over it deep into the bend of the hook. Tie in your wire, leaving a length about the size of the hook shank. Tying back over this is going to keep your fly profile more even. Wrap the wire up the hook shank, as you did before, with some wider gaps in the segments as you get closer to the hook eye. Then tie off the wire, helicoptering the excess. Trim the shuck length to half the hook length. We want to give the impression the fly isn't quite escaped from its shuck, and it's easy pickings. And while the exactness might not matter, it also might matter more than you think. Anglers who have watched a size 20 midge be passed over, but a size 22 slurped eagerly are going to know what I mean. Tie in the trimmed material where your wire ended, then loop the material to form a bubble, securing it again toward the eye. Trim any excess, clean up the head with a few wraps. Lastly, grab some coarse hare's ear dubbing, natural or gray tend to be best. Very lightly dub the head. Brush any excess dubbing backwards and whip turn to finish. Then, brush out the dubbing to give the impression of emergent and struggling legs. This version is going to be ideal for when you see trout backs but no snout rises. Fish it with a little slack in the line. Trout aren't going to be suspecting this betrayal and will hook set themselves as they rise, eat it, and then dive. Each of these flies has their time and place, and if you fish the wrong one in the wrong circumstance, you'll become just another fly angler who doesn't believe in the power of the zebra midge. But if you observe what's happening in the environment and fish the proper version, you're going to wonder how you ever doubted this in the first place.